Hey, world. This is the Other Guys podcast. I'm Kevin. I got main man Kirk and main man Murray. Say what up.
Main men.
Main men.
Hello.
Made men. You guys are made men.
Thank you. We're made from what? From you? Or you made us?
No. Who made who?
That's a good question.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're the Other Guys.
Yeah, currently the top Other Guys podcast running actively on on the online, right?
Yes. There's a reason why we were called the Other Guys podcasts with an S at the end because there was a podcast similar to this, but
at that point we knew not to back down from them because eventually we were going to overtake them. And I don't know, are we there yet?
I don't know, but in the words of Tom Petty, don't back down, right?
Yeah, but also like if there's another Tom Petty before Tom Petty, do you think Tom Petty was like, yeah, I'm going to keep being Tom Petty because I'll be better? He probably would have been, but we wouldn't have known, right?
Yeah.
That's like David Bowie. His name was Davy Jones.
And
it was Davy Jones for the Monkees. So he couldn't be Davy Jones.
Yeah.
So he became David Bowie.
Yeah.
So I
swear you've said that before.
I feel like I have, but it's like
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know who would know?
You know what annoys me though, just because you said the name thing?
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh no, he once said in an article he wants to be like in the future the better known Jordan.
The better known Michael Jordan?
Yeah. Like that's his hope. That's like he's like, I hope I act so good.
That's motivation.
That like one day people will say I'm Michael Jordan and he can drop the B basically. And he'll be like, I'm the Michael Jordan that people talk about. I mean that's possible if like people stop wearing Nike shoes maybe or something.
I wonder what the B stands for if it's Barry. Michael Barry.
Michael Bryan.
Belinda
maybe. I don't know.
Bella.
Bratwurst.
Yeah. But
Brats and tots. Yeah.
I do want to.
Don't know.
I want to start off with a shout out to. So if you're a fan of the show, and if you actually contact us, leave messages, likes, all that stuff.
Credit card numbers,
whatever.
Social
Social Security, all that stuff.
Nudes.
Yes, especially well, no. Those are going to be high premium members. But for now, our regular members, don't worry about it. We'll get into the details for that.
High premium members. You're going to give them nudes?
No.
So they had to pay more to send us naked pictures? That doesn't seem fair.
No. They're gonna have to send us nudes to get the title of premium member. You get called premium member.
Oh, it kind of scrambled brains there.
Yeah, but anyways, for the fans of the show that contact us, we're calling them right now. We're calling them the others, because we're the Other Guys podcast, and lack of imagination, we're gonna use the word others. I guess, right? Is that what we?
Well, it's also like from Lost.
Yes, which was a great show,
and they were really dedicated to the island.
Yeah,
and we're like in that analogy, we're the island,
and they're dedicated to us.
Yeah.
So right now, the leader of the others is Carolyn. She's been active on our page. I
didn't even notice you got her picture there.
Yeah, she's our. Listen, the internet is a pretty cool thing.
It's nice to have someone who cares about what we do. You know.
Yes.
You can see
I just think she thinks we're idiots. Hi, Carolyn. How are you?
Great. I'm good with that. Yeah. So shout out to her. She's a leader. There's another.
What did she have to say? No, didn't she make a comment?
Yeah. She was basically talking about like how.
What did she say?
Okay, so one of them.
He always tries to recap it and doesn't really say anything about it. So in essence, the comments then are pointless.
No, the comments
if
are.
If people don't if we don't say what they say.
I'd rather, because like she's making comments. So she was like, talking about like she likes leaving feedback. She's obviously happy being the leader of the others, but she also wants to make an appearance on the show one day, which we will work on that. And then she also went on to talk about how our last pod we were talking about cuddling services, and she knows about them. But like she's leaving comments about them, but I'm just talking about like I don't know.
Does she like a cuddling service?
I don't know if she likes them. She knows about them.
Oh, she didn't say.
No, she just knows about them, right? So I mean, if she can recommend one, that's a whole different ballgame. But she just said that she knows about them. She knows they exist because I think there was I think when I said that.
Would you work part-time for a cuddling service?
No, but I would.
No, for him, that's a full-time gig.
No, but you know what though? I would be a cuddling service pimp, where my workers.
No. Would you go? Because I
wouldn't have the guilt. No,
what's the guilt?
No. Because like I could never become a real full-time pimp because like I'm not a big fan of the whole. Well, I'm against the sex trade or sorry, the sex.
Hang on,
hold on.
Are the cuddlers pimps?
No. The cuddlers are the workers.
Why do you keep referring to this as a sex trade?
It's that borderline providing a service.
Is this a sex trade? I don't.
Cuddling service is borderline because they're using
Cuddling
their body.
service with benefits might be a sex trade.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Dry,
But
like a dry
it-
hump. Like
but
they're
is
like,
is it?
and maybe it devolves into dry humping.
No,
and they're
no,
just
no, no.
like,
Have you heard like Kirk? Is this like so? Cuddling services are like they
I'm
come
gonna
and
be
cuddle
honest.
you, right?
I'm gonna be honest right now. This is something I don't know much about. I think I've heard Kevin say once or twice, and I thought it was a joke.
Right.
So I'm coming from a viewpoint of limited knowledge.
Right.
Would you pick up a part-time job cuddling?
I think I'd be good at it. I've been told I can cuddle pretty nice. I'm a soft but firm man.
What are your restrictions on a cuddle?
Just if you're heavier, not on top of me. Like I want it to.
Are you open to
wanna be
cuddling
squished.
men and women, or would it be like women only type thing?
I probably prefer women, but like let's say if you.
I'm not cuddling a man.
Let's say if I
I'm
somehow
sorry.
gain a true friendship with a man, and I felt like it was a safe place, maybe.
So
I just don't trust
cuddle, Kevin.
No, guys like Kevin, you know what's next, right? You cuddle.
Something's in
Something
between the pillows.
There's some nefarious stuff coming your way,
According
possibly.
to
So
the,
I feel like women would be straight up. They just want to be held,
According to the
So I would trust that more than
I disagree. I don't think women want to be held. I think they do.
They like cuddles.
It depends. Some of them are into the big teddy bear thing, but a professional cuddler makes $80 an hour. So, just saying. I'm just saying. You do maybe 2, 3.
That
what's a
says
hooker make?
$80. You said $30. That says $80.
$80 an hour.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah.
You said
How
30
much
though. I
does
think.
I said
professional
I think you said 30.
No,
I'm gonna check
cuddler?
the tape.
I thought you said cobbler.
Jesus.
How much
Christ.
is a cobbler?
I'm not gonna look up what a cobbler makes.
If a cobbler only makes 75, I'd feel bad for
I
them.
don't think half.
I think their work's more steady.
I don't know if half.
than-
Yeah.
I don't know if half the audience knows what a cobbler is.
No, they don't.
They know what an apple cobbler is.
They're in the
maybe.
shoe game. Let's just say they're in the shoe game.
So, so a cuddler can make good money. So, would Carolyn? What was she saying? Would you?
She knows
Carolyn,
about
would,
the
Would you
service.
use a service like that? Would you be part of a service like that?
Yes.
And is it sexual?
It depends.
And if it's not, would you like it to be?
Is it sexual?
There we go. And all I'm saying is to defend my viewpoint is that if I ever got jobs were an issue and I needed to go into the industry of cuddle services, I would rather be a cuddle service provider pimp than a normal pimp. That's my take on it. I
think it's safer or something.
I'm
It's
just
not like
I don't support. Here's the thing. I support workers who are in the trades, like the sex trades. Like if you want to be
Not the other trades.
Well,
No.
I would say, well, I've read stuff about the sex trade and the fact that
You
most
steal
women
workers.
don't want pimps in the current climate because
Yes.
they're abusive and they're controlling, and it's an outdated way for sex work. Basically,
They don't need them.
They don't need them, and it's like, and
Well,
then they
so the pimp though was also protection.
oh yeah, no, that's what I'm
Like
saying.
that's what it was. So, but it got kind of wound into this they took over, and then it was like
It's like organized crime.
because they would take the money,
Right.
Like they were the ones you did because they would do the business to make sure give me the money,
Right.
And then it was how easy is it for a guy to pervert that into like, well, you know what? I drove you here. I make sure you're safe. Blah 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 blah. Here, I'm keeping 50%.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, like I said, I'm not in.
And all of a sudden, you've got a whole crazy shit thing going
I'm not in
on.
the pimp game, but I would definitely be in the cuddle game. I'd be like, go and hug that guy.
Would you be cuddle customer service? Hi, sir. You haven't paid your bill.
I'd be a pimp.
I'm gonna have to fuck you up.
I'd be a pimp, but I don't want to do the violence. And there's other pimps out there that are crazy, and that's why they're doing it. You minus all that out, I'd be in it. I'm fine with it then. Like then it's just a business.
No, but for me, it's
just
the
business.
whole. It's the whole like, because as a pimp, you're kind of like.
People need a service, man.
Yeah, but
you're just providing a service.
You're squeezing these girls to do stuff sometimes that they don't want to do, right? That's the thing.
No, I'm
That's
not
where
saying,
I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know.
No, but you're taking up the stance of like an asshole pimp.
You think I don't know.
You know, you got to be the pimp where it's like,
pimps?
hey, girl said she ain't doing that.
You think there's a good pimp? Like nice pimps?
Me.
And Gator?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
I don't know, but
Isn't that
yeah.
one movie, right? Who's a pimp?
Yeah.
It's hot out here
Hustle and
for
Flow.
Gator don't play
It's
that.
hot out here for a pimp.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bear?
Gator don't. Yeah. Gator.
I couldn't. I couldn't pimp.
I just
Pimping
think
ain't
that
easy.
you would be too disillusioned with your own product.
Yeah, you'd be
Uh,
like
Kevin
that.
would have a hard time like keeping his eye on the prize.
Listen,
you know?
in the words of Tony Montana, don't get high on your own supply. That's all I would.
You would
try my
lose
very
money.
was that
maybe.
Tony Montana? I can't remember. Maybe.
No, that was the guy advising him not to get high on his side, and he actually.
Too many people quote that movie.
It's Scarface. Listen,
And I see
man.
these people walking around with Scarface tattoos, and I'm like,
Okay.
it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a very entertaining movie, but holy shit!
Yeah.
Like if you're living your life by that movie,
Yeah.
something's happened to you.
It's
Like
like
something's
every,
wrong with you. Like don't go and get a fucking tattoo of a fucking movie on your body, especially one like that.
Yeah. It's
Well,
like
you know.
people are fans of the Doors, and they're just like a hippie, kind of like pothead,
Grateful Dead people, do
and they're
it
just
too.
like objectively not a very good band, and it's like
well, that's to be debatable.
I mean, it's
They
like
will
one of those
debate
things.
you.
No, I mean, like that's what I mean. Like they're just like you only like this band because you get high all the time.
Yeah.
and then you have this like look about you, and it's like this is you can't question if Jim Morrison was great. You're like, well,
Everybody has.
I don't think he was alive long enough.
yeah, for sure.
I think he did. I think he did some good stuff, but
I just feel a similar way you feel about that. I think though, like I see those people who are like kids who are like way too young to ever even know who the Doors are, but they start smoking pot, and the first thing you see, they get like a fucking white dreadlocks and
well, they
Jim
might
Morrison
know.
shirt.
They might listen to the Doors. Like somebody might
No,
have
but they-
introduced
I'm saying
them to it,
they
like Bob
do.
Marley and shit. Or
I'm
like,
not saying they do. I'm just
I
saying it's
listen
just,
to it.
it's just funny to me that
Oh,
that's like
yeah.
the first thing they go to. You know, Riders of the Storm.
Yeah. Or like it's like the same shit. You go and you see like people walking around with like the Rolling Stones fucking like lips and the tongue and shit, and I'm like, I wonder if they've ever heard a Rolling Stones song. You know what I mean? I wonder if they've ever even
I
heard
talked to a
it. Or
guy.
they're just wearing it because it's stylish and they saw it at a fucking t-shirt shop.
Yeah, I talked to a guy about the Beatles.
Oh yeah, no Rolling
I
Stones.
talked to
I
this guy about the
saw
Beatles
what's-his-face
for like a
wearing
really
that.
long time because
People wearing Beatles
until he
shirts, yeah.
admitted that he didn't listen to
Never heard
he
it.
never heard of Sgt. Pepper's, and he had a Sgt. Pepper's shirt. And I was talking to him like, "Hey, what's your favorite song from Sgt. Pepper's?" And he's kind of meandering through it, and I'm like, so what's up? And you're like, so like, well, you have the shirt, and he's like, yeah, I thought this was cool. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I
And
mean,
some people will just wear shit for style.
Well,
right?
that's the
Like,
thing. Like there was a.
if I wear there's a brand of clothing that's popular what is it Billabong,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah,
But it's mainly surf wear. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of like their thing, I think. And like if I rock it, like people could be like, you surf?
yeah.
Are you a beach guy? Like I mean, no. Well, I'm kind of fronting then, right? Like,
Yeah.
should I or shouldn't I?
But-
like, does it really matter?
that's put out there for like those sort of brands now are like mass appeal though. I guess I mean like most of those. That's what they've tried to do.
They've
Like,
yes, the
like,
market's blown up.
I used to
and
wear
everybody
like,
wears it.
I
Right?
used to wear like Quicksilver stuff.
yeah,
every once
Nautica.
in
I'm not a
often.
fucking yacht. I'm not yachting,
Yeah.
and I'm wearing Nautica gear. Like,
Yeah.
No, I always thought like it's one of those things that kind of like it became mainstream. But like some other stuff though, you're
like
like
I'm wearing a Blue Jays jersey. I don't play on the team, but I do watch them.
and you don't clean the in between innings. you
And
know?
man, I'd like that. There was a time when maybe I had a chance.
Do you guys ever hear my movie pitch about me being the shovel guy at the Maple Leaf games? They have like the Canadian Tire
I think
shovel.
you did. I think he did tell me.
So it's like basically if anyone's watching wants to help me make this movie, it's I'm a down and out like ex hockey player, and I've been relegated to being on the shovel crew that shovels the ice for Canadian Tire during the Leaf games. And
Does it have to be Canadian Tire?
I mean, it doesn't have to be in the movie. That's just like the sponsor.
Local hardware shop.
That's the sponsor. So we'll say
If you can get them, yeah.
Harley's Hardware. Let's say.
Why does it have to have a name?
I don't know. It's hard times.
Kirk gets stuck on that. He's like, I got to figure out a name for this.
And then so I'm just booting it, and all of a sudden Mike Babcock goes like, "Whoa, fuck, that guy's fast as shit."
Does it have to be Mike Babcock?
Could be a Mike Babcock like guy. Like a real,
Could it be any NHL coach?
He's a real good player, you know. Like and then like I turn heads, and then all of a sudden a player goes down, and they're like, "What are we gonna do? Like our star player's down, and you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna put that shovel kid in."
Is this kind of like a modern version of the Water Boy?
The Water Boy. This literally.
It's kind of like the Water Boy.
I was waiting for it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Except you're just not gonna have the same mental deficiencies. As,
Well, I might.
You might, yeah.
I might have some.
No, because he's a down and out player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's had some success. Anyways.
And then I just I get to sign an NHL contract.
So basically, the Canadian version of the Water Boy.
I don't know about the Water Boy though. It's like all those sports movies, like Rookie of the Year.
Mr. Zamboni.
He has like
a little different.
Maybe like a kid has
different.
Well, no, what's the one he has the arm thing? He breaks his arm.
That's Rookie of the Year.
So I mean, like,
and then the tendons fuse together, and he can throw like 100 miles.
That's real.
It happens.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, apparently to that guy. Based
I'm
on
just glad that kid wasn't
story.
old enough to jerk off yet. That's all I really
use the other arm.
Use the other arm.
I don't know, man.
So what were we talking about before we got off track with that?
No.
We're talking about pimps and hoes.
Pimps and hoes. We talked about that, about how I would not go into the pimp game, but
we'll just talk about those I know.
Yeah, there you go. You know, but
so you're more of like a client then, kind of guy. You're like
no.
Not only am I the president, I'm also the client.
No. If I got into the
I
game,
use this service a lot.
No, here's the thing.
And our financial statements say we're losing money because I'm buying hookers at our own.
Okay, well, so it started with the cuddling, and we obviously got into hookers.
Of course.
So
that's how it goes.
Would you hire a cuddling service?
Would I hire like for myself, or like do it?
Sure.
No, I don't need to be held. I think maybe like that would be nice. I sometimes just like rub against like walls or whatever or like poles. And I like the subway. I make sure I kind of move my back into it. It's kind of like because you just need that kind of like.
But do you want like a woman hugging you or a man hugging you?
If you hired a service
I don't
like
really
this and a man showed up, would you?
No, I don't think that's something I like.
Would you allow the man
I'm not
to
into
cuddle
like
you?
hugging and stuff. Like I like to like once in a while I'll hug somebody, but it's never like I feel like it has to be earned. Like for me, a hug or something like that is something you do as a moment. Whereas if it's forced, it's like worse than sex maybe. Because sex, you have that urge. Whereas like I feel like hugging and those sort of embraces are like always.
I think men can hug another man.
Oh yeah.
Traumatic experiences. Mm-hmm. Somebody you haven't seen in a really long time that you're really really cool with.
Yeah.
Or sporting event victories. Big sporting event victories. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
your
hockey team wins on a Saturday.
You
no,
hug
that's
and
not
you
good
jump
enough.
up and down with that
But a
person.
playoff round?
But here's the thing.
Go ahead.
You're talking about hugging. I'm talking about specifically cuddling.
No, he was saying hugs need to be earned.
No, but I'm talking about would you like...
In my mind, that's what I'm thinking.
Do you
of,
like
hugging.
cuddling? Do you like big spoon, little spoon? What do you like being?
I don't like cuddling.
You don't like cuddling?
I don't know if I'm a fan.
I could go
I've
without
always
cuddling.
noticed is that like I put off a lot of body heat, so eventually I make women angry because then they get too hot and then they just feel like, what the fuck?
Here's my thing.
That's why you
Here's
gotta
my
find
thing.
you got to find a cold-blooded lady.
I don't have. There's not too many
and warm
around.
her up.
No, girls, they run hot.
You know?
My thing is that I don't generally want to do that because I want to be comfortable. But if I do, and I'm in that frame of mind, I'm going to want more than a cuddle. Mm-hmm. So then that takes me over. And then so now I'm distracted from the cuddle because, there's that going on in my head. And then if that happens, I don't want to cuddle after because that's happened. Now I want to just be cool and comfortable and you don't get away from me.
So you want the whole procession, kind of like the whole like.
At what point did I want the cuddle?
Oh, I mean like
I didn't really want the cuddle.
But like it leads like into like a whole thing. Like it's not just like one part.
Like if a girl's like, hold me.
Yeah. You're not
I'm
thinking like yeah, we're just gonna hold each other for
hard for me to
hours.
go get a sandwich now.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I don't know. If it's a really
Yeah,
cold
so like
room,
most girls, like if you're listening, there's a good chance like if you're cuddling a guy, he just doesn't want to cuddle, and he'd probably just rather replace you with some food
Or he's
in that moment, like
he's
maybe
thinking
some
about,
wings
like-
or a sandwich,
He's thinking about John Tavares or Austin Matthews.
or he's just
something.
thinking like, how long do I gotta sit here and do this?
the
Unless I'm wrong, maybe there's some guys out there that want to cuddle.
the trick to cuddling is you gotta be able to have an escape route while they go to sleep. But like, this is assuming you've done all the stuff, whatever.
Where are you going?
And then you cuddle, right? You put your arm, whatever, and then as they fall asleep, you got to slide it out. You got to do that. You got to be sneaky with your cuddles, Or you could do the MMA cuddle where you
choke them.
You basically choke them,
Go to sleep.
and then they go to sleep, and then you
No.
let them go.
You find their pressure points.
So assault.
Hey man, speaking about assault,
R.Kelly is in the news.
R.Kelly's in the news. Yeah. I don't know too much of the details of it, as we always never do. But there's been a lot of
A lot of details in the news just seems to be getting remixed up. You know what I mean?
Michael
Like,
Jackson. You heard about Michael Jackson? Some
I don't know what's going on.
Finding
with that.
Neverland videos.
Yeah, I haven't watched it,
Um,
and I like Michael Jackson music.
Yeah, I think
So it's disappointing. But I mean, so if somebody, it seems like maybe something's up now. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. I haven't seen it, so I'm ill-equipped to talk about it.
Right.
But he made some good music.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I've always differentiated. I've been good at separating the politics or the whatever, the scandals from the art. Like
Bill Cosby.
like Bill Cosby.
I still like the Cosby Show.
I think he's he
People will never watch the Cosby Show ever again.
Pudding.
But I understand why they won't. But I find it funny. I don't know what it is. I still like that show. Like it's like some people hate Kramer
yeah.
because of his crazy rant a bunch of years ago. But I still watch Seinfeld. Think it's hilarious. I think he's funny. He did a good job on it.
Mel Gibson for his racist rants. I still love his action movies. So
Yeah, like his old movies are great. And
some of his new stuff not too bad too. But
I like Louis C.K. even though he likes to shut doors and
I got
masturbate
no
in front of
problem
people.
with him.
here's the thing with him. Did he hurt anybody?
No, he just jerked off on his own self.
But he was kind of like
Like he assaulted people with because he did it in front of them.
no,
Dude.
I think the problem was that he didn't admit to it in time, and then it kind of built up pressure
But
against him.
weren't people some women were complaining saying that he said to them, "Can I do this in front of you?" Or he just did it, and
I
they were
think
like,
he
"The
always-
fuck are you doing?"
I think
and
he
so
always
there was that
asked.
aspect, which is weird and
Yeah.
probably not right.
I'm pretty sure he didn't lock the door. I'm pretty sure he was like, "Lady, stay over there. I'm gonna do this right now." And yeah, like
I
there's
don't
no
know, man. Like things came out where it was kind of weird. He was doing some weird stuff. He was doing some weird.
He was
stuff.
not
It seemed to
criminally
be. It seemed to be
charged,
his thing. Yeah, but it's like I guess there's a gray area in like
But here,
the
okay,
law
so
there.
here's the thing: people get upset at him, and I get that. I get it. Fully understand why people are upset with this guy. Has anybody thought that there's something wrong with him? Like he's doing it. There's like there's something there. Like
Well, it's easy
obviously
to tell
it's
if you
not
like
the
his
communal
comedy.
social standard for people to be doing. Nothing to do with comedy.
No, I mean if you like his comedy and listen to what he says, he's one of those
No,
honest
yeah,
kind
it's
of
like hidden in
comedians.
there. It's
But,
kinda
like it's
hidden in
kind of
there.
like there where you're like this guy likes to
But
masturbate,
regardless-
and it's kind of like a weird dude.
But
in a sense,
regardless
but
of
like,
the comedy, the crime or the whatever we want to call it has happened. And like you could go to the comedy and say, but he's leaving traces and hints in it. But take it away. Just the action of him doing it, I would say there's something wrong with him. He needs to go get his head examined and maybe he'll be okay.
No.
Right?
He's
But
just
people
a
go,
weird,
"Oh."
odd dude. He's into weird
But
shit.
generally, if you're a weird odd dude, like going against the norms for like certain things and doing that shit to women, there's a chance there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah, but no. Okay.
Just because you're different, you can be different, but different in that extreme sense that nobody else acts like that and you think it's okay,
Some people like to get their nipples pierced and fucking beat with rubber sticks.
But I'm not doing it to people that like just randomly going, hey, is it okay if you beat me with beat my nipples and like, you know what I mean, in a room with people I just met or with somebody I just met.
Okay, maybe that part, but the fact is he has a fetish. He has his own little fetish.
Everybody does.
Everybody has their own thing. And I guess he made the wrong call on trying to get somebody else onto his fetish, right? How many successful times do you think he actually got away with it?
You're looking at the acts again as how many times did he get away with it? It's the fact that that's what he wants to do in that situation without being like the room does not want it. The person sitting across from him does not want this to happen.
Yeah.
But he's doing it. And he's like, this is what he's engaging them with. And it's like, if you think that it's okay.
Yeah. I don't think it was.
Then there's something wrong with you, right?
Yeah. I think the way to clear it up with him was that I think he asked. And so he felt like he had permission. But the problem was with all this Me Too stuff is he was doing it to women comics and a lot of people who were like, you know, saw him as like a mentor or like a person of power because he had a TV show and stuff, right?
He shouldn't do it. It's not like getting a coffee. It's not like getting a coffee. Saying, "Oh, you want to get a coffee? You mind if I whip it out and jerk off into that plant?"
I'm just saying that's mostly what the weird. I mean, that's mostly where like the problem with him comes is that like, yeah, you might have gotten permission or whatever, but like you put these people in really awkward positions because you have this ability over them as being like this.
The fact that he asked or wanted that from somebody that he wasn't in any kind of relationship with like that is unusual.
Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree. It made me feel very weird.
It makes me think that he has some sort of underlying situation going on with him mentally that this is okay for him. You know, so if that's the case, he gets crucified by the public, but he could have an issue, is what I'm saying, right?
Oh, he most likely has an issue, but...
do we attack people that are sick?
The society is doing that now, yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what they're doing
if they need help...
No, they're gonna attack you. That's how it works right now.
The only thing with him, I don't think he brought up really, but the time frame of it all is when he was getting divorced.
Oh, I heard it's all crazy.
But it's like the thing is,
I think he was
like
married.
No, he was like marriage was ending and he was almost getting divorced, and it was around the time like.
But I heard he was like cheating and shit.
Sure, yeah, but I'm just saying like it just seems like a lot of whatever was happening at a time when like he was in like probably
used his power.
Because I remember him just
he used his power.
Yeah, it was in this point where like I remember
he pulled a Joss Whedon.
I was watching one of his stand specials and he's talking about how his wife's given like a horrible hand job and they haven't had sex in like I don't know how long, and she just had another kid or something, and then that was in between specials when they got divorced and like things ended, and he had like a lot of shit to say about his ex-wife. I remember like watching an older Opie and Anthony that he was on. I used to be on that a lot, and he was saying stuff about her there, and you're just like, this guy has a lot of animosity towards her and this relationship. Sure. So like during this time, you got to imagine if that's around the same time this abuse stuff was happening, not giving him an out, say why it happened, but maybe this is another thing on top, because it doesn't seem to be like a thing that people will have since that time period accused him of doing.
A lot of people like that are older, that
like
are
no one from 2015 has said, "Hey, Louis C.K. masturbated in front of me." It all happened in 2010. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like in that era, that
I don't know.
It's about time.
Really,
no one.
I thought it was like
most of the people who came
spread
forward
out from a long period of time.
I feel like most people who came forward was in around the same time. Like
and he could have been going through something.
So I mean, like that's what I'm saying. I think it was his divorce,
You
and
hit
that's
him
like,
when they're high.
and that can be something that mentally fucks people up too. Like going through that sort of thing, like it's very stressful, and like you feel like maybe depending whose call.
But
it was.
I know guys. Okay. I know like, and I'm not naming names, but I know people that with somebody for a really long time, and they just stop getting it at home. You know what I mean? Like the girl works, and like, you know what I mean? Like I know a couple people like this, and like they're just not, So the dude is still a dude, and they're like, well, I'm ready to go. I keep getting shut down, and like almost like made like they're almost feeling embarrassed at home to like try to get some.
Right.
So what are their options? You know what I mean? What are their options? I'm not saying you go out and assault. That's not what I'm saying. But they step out of their relationship, right? They step out. They go out, they meet somebody. They're like, well, shit. Or other people might go and pay for it. You know, they might go, you know what, I'm going to go to a massage parlor. I'm going to get a hooker or whatever they're going to do because they have a need that's not being met. He might have had a mental thing going on because, maybe like he wasn't getting it at home and then the marriage went in the toilet.
Yeah.
So in his, whatever.
Altogether,
I'm just saying,
that's
people step out like that. So it's like they're the asshole for stepping out. But do people analyze what's going on at home? Do people analyze, like, you know what I mean? Like, well, she hasn't touched him in 3 months and he's begging for it once a week and she just gets angry at him every time. And, like, so what's he supposed to do? Live in that life forever?
Yeah.
That's a weird thing. If anybody has any thoughts on that, Kevin, what do you think?
It comes down to this. I don't give a shit. Like, it comes down to if you're doing something, it could be as freaky as you want to do. Like, maybe you want to jerk off with fucking squirrels on your head. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Is that freaky or dangerous?
Whatever it is, it comes down to this.
Sometimes freaky is dangerous.
If you're not actually committing a legal crime, as in
you're assaulting the squirrels.
Whatever.
They have feelings too.
Just fucking see that's
maybe
me.
here, animal cruelty.
Whatever.
Animal cruelty.
Okay.
Right.
Well, nowadays everything's
Bestiality,
fucking But here's the thing. Everything is now not allowed. But anyways,
my thing is they always call like any sex with an animal.
Dude,
like
remember Pee Wee Herman went in to jerk off in a fucking theater and then lost his job.
As a child's entertainer.
Yeah, but dude, dude,
you don't really want to do that.
Dude, he was a grown adult.
Was it an adult theater?
He was an adult theater. He was jerking off, and he's somehow, because the media had hopped on, he got caught. So that you're telling me that a full-grown man, is not allowed to relieve himself.
Jail
I don't
for
know
something else.
That might have been after, but dude, like, what do you call it? It's almost like you're not allowed to let people be themselves. He wants to go and jerk off in theaters, man. Remember, this is back in the day when the internet wasn't around, so that's where you went to go do it.
You wanted to go see some real good new porn, right?
So like
you can't. Okay, but there's also a reasonable expectation in what you're doing. If you're a child like Mr. Rogers,
you think Mr. Rogers? You think he's not? Is
Mr.
he allowed
Rogers
to jerk
is
off
like
or
a
not?
saint, man.
But
so,
you think he's jerking off?
That's not the point. The point is he's not going to an adult theater.
You think he's jerking off? He's probably jerking off a bunch.
He's probably jerking off.
He's probably jerking off behind that sweater. You don't see it. He's with that neighborhood. He's doing all kinds of crazy things in that neighborhood. He gets in the pool with some black guy, and he's like, "Whoa!"
There you go.
I just yelled in the mic a lot.
But no, man. Like, just because somebody does something for a profession, they're not allowed to be a certain way in real life.
No.
Mr. Met.
No.
You have a thing. If you want your career to be sustained, you can't. You can't. You have to think about what you're doing.
So, like, for instance, like these priests who preach.
Yep.
Yep. I'm not even.
They're the worst.
I'm not gonna go down that route.
They're the worst. Like, this is the whole religious thing, and I don't care.
Or those pastors. Sorry, let's go.
It doesn't matter. It's like
who,
assaulting altar boys, having sex with the nuns and getting them pregnant, and all these nuns have kids and all this crazy shit. But some ministers can get married, which is bizarre. I don't understand how that works, but they still get the same privileges.
Oh, my ministers are
It's
always
all
married.
It's all a big lie, anyways. So
I just don't. Fuck. I don't.
You can get married in like the other church I go to.
Yeah, religious. But I don't want to go down that religious.
I go to Anglican churches. I'm not really anymore, but I did. The minister was always married to somebody. The minister dated my mom.
That explains a lot.
That explains
a lot.
And this guy is now an atheist, which is kind of funny.
I think the Japanese
sounds like he was conflicted.
He wrote a book about it. He wrote a book about being an
atheist. I forget the name of it, but the Japanese have this thing. People have 3 identities: the one you show the public, the one that you show the closest people around you, and the one who you really are, like the deep down.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Of course.
The guy that's whatever, right?
So what's the theory on this?
My theory is that right now people aren't allowed because of social media, because people are in the public.
It's like when I go to McDonald's, I want the Big Mac with the bacon and all the horrible shit on it, but the public around me, like people that I'm eating with, are gonna go, really?
Yeah. I guess I could sum that up for me in being like without a shirt on. Like, I have to really trust you to have my shirt off in front of you.
Fair enough.
Like, the public, you're not seeing that. Me, I don't even want to see it.
Right.
And so, like...
I cut Kevin off, so let Kevin finish his...
No, my biggest thing right now with the world
Your
right now.
Japanese explanation.
Japanese explanation is basically that everyone has, because of social media, everyone puts out a face that they're good, that they're whatever. But listen, everyone has their own little evils, their own little vices. Maybe you watch decapitation videos like myself. I don't know. You have a
whole
shit.
folder on here for decapitation. It's under entertainment.
Trust me, I have dark inner
family
circles.
entertainment.
I have dark inner circles. But
No,
what I'm saying is,
there's differences in things that, like you and Kirk and certain people. Yes, you have your own hidden things.
Yes,
but other people and like the people that are scary. That are a blight on society are the ones that are capable of hiding it from everybody. Right. However, at times they can show extreme compassion and kindness, but at the same time, to the same person, they can be extremely cruel and punishing. That is a seriously disturbed individual.
Yeah, that's
if you can have that swing within you.
Yeah.
There's a confusion going on, right? Yeah. And they need help. But that's somebody who's showing people all sides of them, right?
Right.
And yet you're right. There's still probably a darker, a deeper, darker version of them that you'd never want to see, because if you're seeing that,
they say their name 3 times in a mirror.
Candy,
like you're back.
No, my thing is, I just right now,
and I know people like that, and they're fucked up people. I mean, you know them too.
Yeah,
and those are weird people.
Yeah, right now because of how like things are in the media and stuff. Like, okay, how was I gonna explain this? Like people are not able to separate those things. So, for instance. Like a lot of people were hating on who's the girl that was Captain Marvel, Brie
Larson.
Brie Larson. People were hating on her.
She is. The movie just came out.
She is. They were hating on her because she said some feminist comments or whatever and pro whatever.
It was about reviewers not being enough men reviewing movies. That's all it was.
I know there was some articles.
She took a lot of like hate. I mean, because most of Twitter people who complain about that are men. So yeah,
whatever. All I know is, for me, like whenever somebody said, like, whatever your political, religious, whatever your beliefs are, whatever your stances are, that will never dictate. For me, that will never really carry over to if I'm going to see you in a movie, listen to your music, or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, I think people are allowed to have those separate lives, but I think right now people are you got to be fucking 24/7 the good guy, and I think that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. I think you should be able to be evil when you need to be evil and be good when you need to be good.
But if you're in a public forum for entertainment or like children's entertainment,
right,
you need to be aware of how you're making your money and how you're doing it. So, like, if you want to live your life a certain way, like if the Wiggles, which apparently also are like a rock band, like they do their own things. But if they like decided like, they're really going to let it hang out and they're going to do cocaine off hookers' asses and and it gets out.
Yeah.
You kiss your Wiggles goodbye.
But it
you know what I mean? And that's
out.
Their bread and butter. Like, they make a lot of money on that deal. And it's like, is it worth it? Is your $1 billion business worth that time that you're having to let it get out? Because you in your head at your age with what you want might be like, yeah, dude, I want to do that because that's what I want. They don't care. They're like,
how many wholesome, clean,
Disney
character artists were nice and promoting all
they're
the
young
stuff,
people,
and then they went on to just do pornos and fucking
who's that?
Fucking I don't know.
What Disney princess?
No. Okay, dude. Like, I mean, Ariana Grande for one.
She's doing pornos.
No, she's gotten more. Okay, I mean, Christina Aguilera was one. She was nice.
Have you thought of your points of view here before you?
Kirk, it never gets.
I don't remember
the
porno with her in it.
No, but
also,
you remember Christina Aguilera?
Private videos between two people in their own whatever is different. And like the leaks, like all these girls or whatever sending and taking nudes of themselves, and they're letting it get on their iCloud, and then iCloud gets hacked, and then it's out.
Yeah.
Note to anybody: do not put your porno pics and videos on the cloud. Don't do it.
Remember,
especially if you're famous, you're gonna get hacked because people want that from you, and it's gonna get out there. So don't be shocked that when you took 12 nudes in the hotel in Budapest when you were bored last week. It could get out?
Can I say that now we have these Hollywood starlets' attention? Mm-hmm. You can safely store those.
Yes.
You can safely store those new pictures by emailing us at the other guys podcast
Kevin will make sure they don't go anywhere. Yeah.
Kevin and I will make sure, Murray will make sure we don't distribute them. We'll use them for our own pleasure only, and just ask us when you want them back at a given time. We're willing to
They
send.
will be stored safely in a 2 terabyte hard drive in a trunk of a Mustang.
And only we can see it.
That seems very unsafe.
Yes.
That seems very unsafe for that.
Encrypted in something.
Still.
A briefcase that has like a combination only we know.
I'm just saying.
In the trunk of a Mustang.
So yes, these people are doing that, and they're not expecting it to get out. You know what I mean? But there's others. But there's also common sense and smart.
Right.
Just because somebody's pretty and just because somebody is successfully cast in a show or they have a role, does not make them a smart person, does not make them a good person.
No.
For every one of these weird, or people, not weird, people who, have some nudes leaked or a video come out and they're like, oh my God, like that was for my boyfriend and it was private. There's a whole bunch of others that they're not doing that. You can't even find like a nip slip. You know what I mean? They're not out there.
They're just really good.
So I'm just saying they're just not doing that, right? They're keeping their shit under control.
Yeah.
Either they are doing that stuff and it's not getting out, or they're not.
Right.
Who knows? Different personalities.
Yeah.
Just saying, man. Just saying.
So this whole, actually, this kind of, I wanted to talk about this earlier because with the whole R.Kelly thing. And with this whole with this whole Disney thing, it got me thinking.
Well, he's not Disney.
No. But here's my thing. Like I've been noticing, and
I liked R.Kelly.
This is not real. Okay, I don't want to dig into because we did talk about R.Kelly last time, but I want to talk more about. Do you think? And I talked about this actually with Dimes a while back. Do you think? And I don't want to say just girls in general, but do you think kids are growing up too fast? Do you think they're?
So I'll take a minute for Dimes. So Dimes, so he sent me a text message because of my birthday.
Yeah.
So he texted me. I don't know. He said he was texting the wrong number.
Yeah, it was wrong number.
He's like some pretty inappropriate stuff.
Yes, he got digits
like,
mixed and sent.
So so it's good to reconnect with him.
Yeah.
I texted on your birthday, but I didn't say anything creepy. I hope, right? Just happy birthday.
You know what? I did see that, and I'm sorry I did not respond.
You responded to the other stuff. You're like, "What is this?"
I did not respond.
I want to slap your
what? I meant to respond, but
that's okay.
I think I saw it. I was driving.
It's not about
and
me.
I was like, "Oh,
it was your birthday." I don't need a response. I just wanted to make sure you got it.
So yeah. But anyways, you were saying
you weren't Kevin. You didn't make me get you all you can eat ribs.
There you go.
I was low key, man. I was low key. I just chilled out.
But yeah, no, we brought up a good point about how, I mean, he was talking about how, like, because Instagram and social media, you see all this stuff. A lot of people are inappropriate and all that stuff. And I told him about a story how I was driving one time, and I was going down the street. This might have been at like nighttime, 9 p.m. or whatever.
It might have been at nighttime, might have been in the daytime.
Depends. But I was driving, and I see a girl down in the distance and all that stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I'm looking. I'm like, man, hey, she's looking, pretty good, like from far, right? All that stuff. And then as I eventually get close or whatever.
It was a Doberman Retriever.
No, it was like
or Doberman Pinscher.
It was a girl, but she was like all dolled up, like freaking
a doll.
No, like makeup and all that stuff. But she had to be like 14, 15.
Oh,
she was a kid.
Oh, so you noticed her from a mile away.
From a mile away, I noticed like, oh, she's dressed up in fucking Lululemon tight shit or whatever.
Girls have always been dressing up at that age, like putting on inappropriate stuff.
But when you get closer and you see a girl like that, and you're like, dude, like they're becoming Like, I don't know.
I hung out with girls when I was 14, 15 that dressed inappropriately when we were out.
Right, but there's a difference between
At the movies, walking down the street.
There's a difference of, the innocence of the 90s where, if shit went down, things kind of kept quiet, where now if shit goes down...
The difference is the internet.
It's out there. So what I'm saying is, do you think...
The only difference is the internet.
And this is not just girls or whatever, I'm just saying, do you think right now kids are growing up a little too fast? They're learning a little bit too much.
Yes.
But
that's like you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
I get that.
Or back in the it's out.
I get that.
The number so I read this thing and it was very unique in what they're so basically for all of the positives that the internet brings for information and education and all that, it's people don't use it for that. They think they are. They're like, well, the information that they're getting is shit info for them. Like they're filling their heads with nonsense, and they're using it for nonsense. And we've talked about the internet and shit many times, but it's like you said, Twitter. People on Twitter on your phone. It's basically useless information, right? Like it's complete useless nonsense that's basically coming to you. Like useful stuff. Check a power outage. You can do shit like that. Some entertainment stuff. But when you're following people just to hear them tweet out nonsense,
right,
or post a photo or whatever, who cares? Right. But there's people out there. You're right. Society is so fucked up and spun now.
Right.
This is their world.
Yeah.
Like this is their fucking world. And I don't fault the younger generation for thinking this is the way the world is. Because we've allowed it. We created it for them, right? We said, here's phones, here's apps, here's Twitter, here's Instagram. Take pictures of yourself and post it up there and see how many people you can get to look at it. That's the mission of that, right?
Yeah.
That's the mission of Instagram, no?
Yeah.
Well, I think also...
No, it's not, Kevin.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's actually so you and your friends... can do it. No, but I'm saying that's what that is, right?
Sure, that's the innocent version of it,
but then what's the point of the other version? What is the point of it?
To exploit the masses.
No, for what reason?
To see how deep society goes.
It's like I can't believe Keeping Up with last night I saw Keeping Up with the Kardashians is coming back on TV.
Of course they are. Yeah.
And don't even I think Air Force One the movie was on like E Network or whatever and I was like Air Force One's a great movie. Yeah. So I was watching it, but they had commercials, and it was like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and like Temptation Island and all this
Jersey Shore.
And I'm like, but so this is like literally like Kim, like she released a sex video to get famous.
Yes,
it worked.
Yes, and now a lot of other girls and a lot of other people. Right now, the rise of the Instagram model as a professional.
Kylie Jenner is the fastest or youngest billionaire.
Yeah,
but she has like a cosmetics line, right, or something. Like she created a business.
No, that's like a lot of them though. You can't discount the fact, even though they did whatever happened to get them there, that they had the savvy to do something.
Well, you know who I respect more than any one of them? The Olsen twins, because they
have less money than the Kardashians.
No, they might, but they built it all on their own, or like whatever through
get
out
there, kids,
of making like kids movies. They were making like teen kids movies appealing to like teen girls or young girls.
No, yeah, 10-year-old girls. But at the same
time, they launched like fashion.
My sister
Empire, and they did it all. And where was the internet? Kind of starting out. They weren't fucking plastering themselves on Instagram. Like they were in photos. They were around for sure. Like their photos were out there. But they weren't the same. It wasn't at the same level. They didn't fucking... Which one of them released a sex video?
Right.
None. I don't think either of them did.
Mary Kate?
So I respect them. Mary Kate.
I just think the loss of innocence that's my big, because I know, like, so for another example was
kids are innocent, we're allowing it to be taken.
No, here's the thing, when I was in high school, and that's like still not that's high school, you knew things like a blowjob, a hand job, you knew the basics, right? But dude, like I was over like seeing high school kids, they're now talking about like some advanced shit, reverse doggy style. Fucking, they're talking about some dirty ass fucking shit. And I'm like, dude, like, they know all this shit before,
What's reverse doggy style?
I'm not even.
So is that like the Amazon position?
No, Kirk. It's do you know what original?
Yeah, I know what original. That's why I'm saying I don't know what the reverse one is.
Okay, Kirk. Don't worry about it.
That's why I want to know. That's why I asked the thing, not because I don't know what the other thing means. You know?
Don't worry. Okay, Kirk.
So yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
It's easier for them to access the internet for that stuff. Yes. And it's hard to keep it away from them.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, no, it's true, right? Because like you could be a good parent and you could like put filters on the phone and on the kid's laptop.
All my cousins who are under 18
the minute
have.
He goes to your house or you have a phone, boom! All of a sudden, your parents don't give a shit or aren't good parents, and all of a sudden you have access to everything, and my kid sees all this shit from you.
All my cousins under 18 have burner Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
So I found this out because they follow me. I'm like, this is an account that like, yeah, it's that my parents don't know about. So I just don't.
Yeah, it's like Facebook.
And my uncle kind of knows. He's like, I know you probably have another Instagram because the other one just has no.
Yeah, it's like people create a Facebook account for their family, and then they have their real one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For everybody else that they know.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting off that shit. It's just
and that's how it is. Like, because I know people and they've got like nieces and shit that are at a certain age, and like,
What do you guys think?
They're there, and it's all wholesome shit. And all their posts, it's like, really?
What do you guys
like? Really, you're 20 years old, and like this is very wholesome stuff. And then I find out, that they're like, no, that's just for the family. I'm like, oh, okay, I figured.
What do you guys think about like joint accounts between like when people get married, they like join their accounts together?
No.
Do you like those?
No.
That's pretty bad. I feel like that's something like my mom has friends. So
nothing says caught cheating like fucking a joint Facebook account.
No, I feel like that's
I mean, somebody needs to know exactly what's going on, and
all your messages coming to me.
That's right. All your messages are going to both.
Hey, bitch, don't send nothing to my man. I run this fucking account, right? I like my that's something interesting. My mom had this friend. Her name was last name was Cafford, and I always thought that was their last name.
Drop the last names again.
Well, I didn't say her first name. No, this isn't. There's nothing against them. This is just interesting. It's something you don't even know where I'm going yet. Okay. So I always thought I took this for granted that their last name was Cafford, but it turned out that when they got married, her name was like something K, and his name was Ford. They put their name together. They had a joint last name. This is so they're like the pre Facebook couple. They put their name together.
Do they live in Sarnia?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, you're like, me giving out this information is not like a big deal. You understand? Right?
I get it.
Like, it's not like I'm like, I know we were
it's
going.
Just you're that guy.
We were.
That.
No, I mean, I just want to say that I wouldn't have brought this up if I wasn't going somewhere like not like unwholesome.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of women hyphenate.
Yeah, this is just like a full-on contraction.
Like they'll hyphenate the name, right?
Yeah.
I've never heard of people just putting their names together.
I thought it was kind of cute when I heard about it. Because in my head, I thought right away, I'm like, this is like, they're like the 90s version of Facebook couples now.
That's a weird one. To do like to put both names together is very weird. I don't know. I wouldn't be comfortable with it. What do you think about this? So like I know a guy, and I mean I brought this up long ago. He took his wife's last name.
Was his name John Lennon?
No, no, it wasn't.
He took Yoko Ono's last name.
There's something weird going on with them, but no, this guy, normal dude, and then they got married, and he took her last name, and I was like,
you know what? If her last name is like fucking Danger or fucking
no,
like something cool, I'll take it.
Hamoki.
Maybe. But I personally think now, because of the whole women are equal and the movement and all that stuff.
The whole now all of a sudden.
The whole now
movement.
I don't think that you have to be traditional and take the man's name and whatever. Listen, at the end of the day, rules are fucking open.
Okay, so there's no rules anymore.
There are no rules.
So there's no
do
rules.
whatever you want. If you're a traditionalist, which there's nothing wrong with that too. Yeah, you know what? Take the man's name. But I
guess I am.
I
guess I am in some degree.
If you're open,
the only thing I would feel like is if you have thing. I don't care if my wife did, but like if I have kids that I want, for some reason I want them to have not like a hyphenated name. I want them just to have my name because they're my kid.
Yeah. See, if it's a girl, I don't think you care, because if in a traditional world she gets married, she
She's gonna
loses
lose
the
her
name.
anyway.
If it's Kirk
Unless she
Jr.,
hyphens.
if it's Kirk
But-
Jr., I gotta call him Kirk Jr. Hicks, right?
But like, if you're only gonna have a boy, your line of the family, your name carries on with the boy. So
So I feel like that'd be the only time I would kind of be interested in having a stake in it. But otherwise, if it's like if I don't have kids and I get married or either or, then maybe I won't care at all. But then it's kind of like an area for me. I wouldn't be too sure. I'd want the kid not to have my last name. Or like I wouldn't know if I'd really want a kid to have like.
Do you think it's people with unstructured or like that don't like?
They don't believe in
the like, yeah, it's been so that is corrupted in them. They don't care anymore about like anybody should be able to choose whatever they want to choose with whatever they do, right? People like that. And I disagree that everybody can just choose anything that they want to choose whenever they want to choose it and do whatever they want.
Right.
I believe that everybody needs some sort of structure, and I think that family units need structure. And I think that's part of it. And it's like carrying on the name. But where other people would say it doesn't matter, it's a human.
It's all fluid.
It's all human.
I can be a mom
It's
now.
not human. It's carrying on that line of a family. And if, you choose not to participate in carrying on your line or whatever, that's you. But to other people, stay out of their fucking business. You know what I mean? Don't corrupt don't try to get your agenda over on them. And I find that's what's happening. People are pushing their agendas on others, and then I'm supposed to feel like the asshole because I'm like, I think that carry the name on, pass the name on, you know. But I'm supposed to feel bad now to say that.
But I mean, like,
I'm supposed to feel dirty to say like,
there's like
I'm closed-minded. I'm like an old dinosaur.
Well, there's
for believing this, and I'm not.
There's the other side of the story. If you think about it,
like
say I marry someone, her last name is Johnson.
Kirk Johnson.
No,
you might want that.
No, let's say so like
Mr.
her last,
Johnson.
No, but her last. No, I'm just
Johnson and Johnson.
Let me explain here. So her last name is Johnson, right? And then she says, I want the kid's name to be Johnson because I don't want a white patriarch last name. And I'm like, well, what's your dad's last name? Also Johnson, I imagine, right? So you're continuing that name for him. Why can't I continue my name for my dad? Like that's what I'm just saying. People who don't want to fuse it in, they're like, well, you're also carrying forth patriarchy regardless.
Yeah.
So unless we just don't have last names, we have like cliques or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I see. This is why I've never really understood the whole.
All right.
I've never understood the whole marriage thing and the whole. I don't know.
So basically, two people decide that they're going to stay together
for eternity
with each other and not be with other people.
That's
because you said you didn't understand it.
No,
and it's a legally binding contract.
And they go in front of somebody and then
they pay thousands of dollars.
No, you could do it for like $125. But that's the other sucker move. You want to talk about that nonsense? We could talk about that because I got a real hate for weddings.
Same. I hate weddings.
And then if you break up, they take half your shit.
No. That's a different thing. And you know what? Prenups are there. Like, people don't need to do that stuff. No, it's just, the idea that people need to have a big wedding,
right?
Because that's going to make them happy,
right,
is bizarre to me.
Right.
You start your time together.
Depends on
already stressed out that you owe $50,000.
Yeah, or like you're hoping like big family wedding and people are going to pay for it and help, right? But like, and I get it. Some people, it's like their dream since they were little, and I know some dudes, man. They're like, yeah, big wedding. Want to have a nice big wedding, like lots of family and big cake. I'm like, that's basically all I care about is the cake.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I'm cool. City Hall that shit.
Have
a little gathering somewhere with close people and family, and you're done. I'm just gonna keep it cheap.
I'm gonna invite all my family to a bar one night, and I'm gonna my then wife. We're gonna get married in front of people. I'm just gonna give them like 5 minutes notice. Everybody getting married.
People do
Priest
that.
comes out.
People do that,
and I'm like, your drinks are covered for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, people do that. I've seen. There was a show that I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was like a one-off, but I've seen where they've done that where they invite everybody to like a party under the guise of something else. And it's a wedding. Like, it's like, we're getting married right now. And
yeah,
it's like,
I'm worried with my family because, like, half of my family, like my mom's side and my dad's side don't get along at all. So I did invite them all because I really would like to, but there might be like a bar fight in that situation.
See, but why? I'd rather invite nobody.
Right.
No, but I feel like I gotta.
Am I so like?
I feel like I like the idea of having.
Like I'm just
family.
hardened against all of it. I'm just like I don't care.
Everybody.
I don't like the commercial aspect and like the monetary aspect of it, but I like the idea of having your family there for some reason. Personally, like if I ever got married, I think that'd be the people I'd want there, like close friends and family. I think that's gonna be.
But if they like,
I don't really like the idea of like extravagant like cakes or.
But do you believe
settings.
in the trial run? Do you believe so? Like I don't believe in the, somebody lives in their own unit and you live in yours until you get married and then you move in together and realize that you fucking hate each other and can't live together and then you get a divorce a year later or 2 years later.
Some people just keep that up though. Some people now are getting married and they live opposite, and then it's like, and that's sometimes was what keeps them married for longer, probably.
Right, but then on the flip side, some people don't get married and they live together or date somebody for like 9 years, and like the relationship's going nowhere. Like the person, like it's just you just know it's not going to work, but they stay together out of the fear of having to restart over again. You know what I mean? It's like you've sunk in 5 years with somebody, and it's like. I'm getting older, like
like
I know people that have done it, but it's like, who cares? Now you figured out he's not the one or she's not the one.
Yeah,
get out. Can
I say this is just like my I threw out a pair of slippers I've had for 10 years recently.
Well,
because they were getting like itchy, they were kind of gross in the inside.
Time to give them up.
Yeah, and that was one of those things. I've never liked these slippers, but they're my only pair of slippers.
Some people are gonna reupholster those slippers and be like, nope, just needed a fresh coat.
Yeah, no, I was just like that as close as I can
wash
think of.
them,
Because I'm like, yeah, why have I been putting up? I threw them out, going, why have I been wearing these for so long? Like, there's been so many times I've just given up on them.
Because they were there 10 years ago,
and it's just because I gotta do my laundry in the basement. I gotta walk down another flight of stairs.
They were there a long time ago in better days.
Yeah,
they were there better days, and so you're like, I'll keep them around.
Now I just have a pair of shoes I wear around the house, which I'm wearing right now.
So well, maybe you want to get slippers.
I mean, I'm not gonna wear these outside anymore. They're black leather Converse All Stars. So I think they're pretty cool.
Well, there's not really slippers though for the house.
But they're not slippers. But
you want to not wear shoes all the time, right? That's kind of the idea.
They're kind of comfortable right now. I'm saying I'm kind of enjoying it right now.
Yeah, more of a novelty. It's kind of like a girl who breaks up with her 10-year boyfriend and slums it. You know what I mean? Kind of like
I don't know. These are pretty nice shoes.
Yeah, but you don't want to wear them when you're on the couch.
Oh yeah, true.
So I was just looking
in bed.
Or in bed. You don't want to go up on the bed with them. Yeah.
I've always wondered the origins of a marriage. Like why did humans decide that they had to get married? Right? Like
I assume it would be tribal.
Well, no, I assumed that it was tribal. Like, hey, listen, I found this one that I want to be with. None of you guys can mess with it. But according the first marriage, English terms, was 1250 to 1300 CE. Mm-hmm. Basically, it was just to strengthen families.
But it lasted 50 years. That's pretty good.
So so
in that time,
better than today.
In that time period, that's like your whole life.
Yeah. So basically, it was like if I have a family and you got a family and we got two kids that are in the same range, we're gonna marry them. It had nothing to do with love. So the original purpose of marriage was not
the word marriage.
The word marriage, but
I think all different types of cultures and religions have had a version of that, like wife and man and wife.
Yeah.
So
no, well, I don't think.
But like, I'm not opposed. Like, I get it. You people out there with the sister wives, cool. I'm not saying like there's people we know where it's like 7 wives. That's too many. But yeah, like
heaven, baby. Yeah.
Some of these people, 2, 3, whatever, and other people believe in multiples. So like, there's groups of people that believe that
polygamists,
right? But you could have 3 wives. Mm-hmm. But they can have 3 husbands.
Damn, that's basically one big fuck pot. That's a...
You know what I mean? Like
the fuck pot.
No, but it's not like not everybody lives together. Let's say, like, but it's
I'm
one of those scenarios
if you're a man
where
and wife, you're banging. So basically, you're banging. I can't even do the math right now.
But that's like some sharing is caring stuff.
I don't know. Right now, I feel kind of guilty having more than one girl in my DMs.
Capitalize on some delicious food. What?
Oh, I feel bad just having more than one girl in my DMs, at a given time. Like, once I'm trying to go after, If I got 2 in there, like right now I have 2, and I'm kind of feel like, well, which one? I mean, I feel bad if like they were like, I I had to prioritize which one I like more.
What's a tiebreaker?
I don't know. Who's ready first? I don't know. Like,
it's a trick question. There's never a tiebreaker.
it's never a tiebreaker.
You run until as far as you can.
No, I am
Until
trying.
you're
It's,
exhausted.
it's like, because, it's like,
No, because like I was talking with Dimes. He comes from a traditionalist world where man meets woman, they get married, 50 years, blah 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 blah.
It's because of the backgrounds, right?
But he is.
I disagree with the way that those people function.
He is now disillusioned from that, and I've always been on the fence with it. Like, I can understand. Look. If you find someone you love,
he's not disillusioned. He's disillusioned with society as it is.
Of course.
To find that,
right?
Because he feels that modern women, are incapable of all of that.
Is that true? What do you think about that?
Tell me
I
why.
think that it's becoming more and more limited if you're looking for that lifestyle, but because it doesn't happen, like that's a small percentage of people.
Right.
Right.
So do you think?
But I think there's a lot. I think there's good girls out there.
But listen. Okay, but do you think everyone should eventually get married, or do you think marriage is not for everybody?
It's not for everybody.
Right.
It's not for everybody. I mean, and I've had this conversation with people, and they get pissed off at me because, like, I've talked to people about, like, why are you even alive? Like, why are you even here talking to me right now?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what do you mean? Like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no.
Right.
You are here to have a child.
Is that what they say?
No, that's what I say.
Oh, that's what you say.
I'm like, there's no other reason for you to exist on the earth. Somebody gave birth to you.
Yeah.
And their mission was to procreate as a species, as an animal.
Right.
And now it's your turn. And people relinquish that what's the word I'm looking for?
Duty?
Privilege.
Okay.
To focus on a career or whatever. And that's perfectly fine for them to do that.
But if you ain't ending polio, then maybe step out of the way, son.
But it's one of those things where you are no longer, like, maybe they're a doctor. I'm not. Maybe they're a great child doctor,
or they're Elon
and they're
Musk.
never. Maybe Elon. Yeah, like I'm not saying that you're okay. We're gonna say, like, not everybody's fucking. Not everybody's
Elon Musk.
Not everybody is helping society the way that is. They get a pass. People like that get a total pass. But if you do nothing, if you're an average citizen, and I'm going to say there's 8 billion people on the planet.
Right.
The average person is a middle of the road contributor to everything that they do.
Okay.
They're not, they could go away just like me.
So I
could go away. The world wouldn't cry about it.
I would take offense to this, but except I know for a fact I'm a below average contributor. So
I'm just saying, some people are like, well.
So hold on, because this is where
I'm like, you're useless to the planet then.
Okay, so no, because here's where I'm drawing a little. So what you're saying right now is, if you can't make big contributions to society,
that's not what I'm saying.
The least you could do is come in a girl and make a baby.
Why do you take it from the man's perspective? I'm more actually taking up both sides, right?
The least you can do is produce the next spawn.
That's why you're alive as an animal.
Or what about
you are here to spawn? That is based. Yeah, that's why you're alive.
Well,
right?
we don't get to choose if we're alive or not.
No, right. But as an animal, you're here.
I would say though, it's almost admirable the point of overpopulation to then choose not to procreate, just as it is to procreate. You could say either or. The flip side is that I'm not adding to
I think
no, but
some people
that's somebody who's using their consciousness that's trying to go beyond the actual species, the reason you're even here.
But then you're still jerking off every day, and then you know what you really want to do when you jerk off.
Maybe it's a woman. Maybe she's the one controlling her destiny, right?
Right.
And that's totally up to her. Maybe a lot of women, I've met some that they're like, I'm not going to have kids. Like, I just don't want to have kids. I don't want to go through childbirth.
Right.
I've seen bad things. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's totally up to them. I'm just saying, I'm amping it up. People are like, he's an asshole, but
No,
I'm
no, no, 'cause
really
th-
amping
th-
it
this
up
is where,
because like somebody's got to take this side. Because I actually have had an opposite opinion for many years.
Right.
But I figure in this forum I could get you guys to get on the train. So I'm caricaturing my
Fair enough.
whatever for it. But I'm saying that a large percentage, like, we are considered animals, right?
Fair enough. Yes.
So what the hell are we, like, we are creating things to make our life more comfortable, and we can make decisions. And like Kirk says, well, we can make a decision not to have children. Absolutely. And we should make decisions for other people not to have children, like we've talked about before, right?
Chemically castrating people. That's great.
We've talked about locking up the genes until you pass a test, and then it's like, we'll unlock you. We inject you at birth, and
license to breed.
License to breed.
You mean
License
putting a
to drive,
lock on their
license to
actual
I'm
genes or
hashtagging
like
DNA.
No, like not like their zip up genes.
DNA. So you can't do it until we give you a shot that says you can.
I'm hashtagging that idea.
And you got to pass the test.
If it ever comes out, I want.
And also, you should do it to some people's genes, like put a lock on the zipper.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right. We want
to the simple. Yeah. That's
zip up the gene. So,
and then also,
but people get real offended. They're like, "Well, that's my right." I'm like, "No, it's not." And if you say there's a right for you to choose or whatever, then there's a right for us to do that to people that, so like you said, overpopulation.
Yeah. We at least have.
I think at a certain point, the world has to take control of it, right? It's not up to, like, man, like, I see some people, dude, and like, I just watched this show. Yeah. It's like, what is it? Cheap Weddings.
I thought you were going to say My 500-Pound Life.
It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's hilarious. It's good. It's good. Yeah. Some people, you're like really cheering them on.
Right.
Where they do cheapest weddings. Right. And like some of them you're really cheering on, like the couple, because it's like they're where they live, and like it's real, like they do it for like $100.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And but the whole community like comes together, and it's a really nice wedding for really nice people. Where others is like you watch it and you're like, oh my God, like I hope they never ever have a child, and then you realize they already have one, and you're like, oh man,
yeah, that's what I'm saying,
I hope that kid comes out of this. I hope this kid figures it out and can make something of their life, because you're like, shit. Right. Like, that's a pretty rough situation you got there.
I hope this kid takes his cleft jaw and heads out of the.
Yeah, like just just some weird stuff, man.
Right.
Some weird people.
Well, I mean, he's got a third arm. He maybe can do something cool with that. Join the circus. Who knows?
So you think that it's a decision that somebody should be able to consciously make. That,
I mean, it's like
they were born to just walk around and look around. Then.
Yeah, I think if you look at that like in that light, you could say that
and breathe air and
almost like
the planet and not solve any
being
problems.
ugly and being ugly and undesirable actually has some benefit to the world.
Okay,
being attractive and like suave actually is going to overpopulate people.
So
we need the weirdos to make us kind of like drag us down.
Is it, or do we just choose to live in populated regions?
It's a grading curve. It's like in a test.
It's not a grading curve.
It's a curve.
It's not a curve.
I think it's a curve that they kind of like prop us up, right? The bottom people.
No, yeah, they drag us down.
Yeah. In the sense, they drag us down and hence prop us up.
The asteroid hits,
right,
and it takes out a whole bunch of people. People are gone.
Yeah,
and now we have to rebuild.
Yes.
Now, our choices, people can still decide not to have children? Do you want those people existing?
Well, are there people who have been maimed by the asteroid who would be very unattractive? This guy's got half a face. Let's fuck. All right.
Right.
More people. I don't know. I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, at that point, it's like apocalyptic, basically, to almost an extent, where you have to like think about humanity's next step. Where I mean, like at the current pace we're at, we don't need no more.
You know what?
See, because I read some weird shit, man, a long time ago, where it was like science fiction. It was in a book, and I can't remember what book it was. But anyways, so there was like a dilemma. Like it wasn't that there was a catastrophe, but it wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be, and there was a lot more people, so they didn't have to figure it out, and they were all happy they didn't. But they thought that only one safe place was going to survive like an apocalyptic strike, and they were like, there's not going to be enough people in here if people decide not to like mate with each other. And they were like, right. And they're like, so like humanity dies out because of that, or we have to force people to do that. And they're like, well, how do you and this is where the social societal norms go out the window, because if you have to force someone to get pregnant,
right,
what are we talking about now?
So the Japanese are actually going through.
We're
that
talking
right
about
now.
forcing, yeah, it can get real dark and real evil, real fast to try to repopulate.
Right.
You know, and it was an interesting
kind of like
moral
that,
dilemma within a talk.
It's sort of like
it never happened in the book, but it was an interesting thought to be like, yeah, what the fuck do you do?
That's kind of how you head down the road of like the Handmaid's Tale, where like women become just like seen as producers of babies, right? Like
it's a little different.
I mean, I'm just saying that's kind of like the idea is eventually, like, no matter what, if that's the case, then
yeah, but they're oppressed. Like,
no, but women are. I'm saying
seen as second class people.
That's what I'm saying. And like women in that circumstance are going to be probably positioned in the same way. You're going to be like, you lose your rights or whatever, because it's like for the greater good, but the greater good may have an evil kind of mentality
in a way, because
you're like, they're going to be like, you
can't have the women going out and being in danger and things.
Yeah, so like eventually they're gonna be under watch and control of like men basically, and lose kind of like, and go way back and like, you know, rights wise.
See and I've had this talk with women before, and I've had a couple that get real fired up, and they're like, well, you know, I do whatever I want. I'm like, cool. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying,
I do what I want.
Other girls that I've talked to, like, are totally understand. They're like, well, as a species, you know, at that point, what's my purpose? Like, it's not to, what was her example? She's like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to miss my, hot yoga. She's like, I guess I'm going to have to give up hot yoga, right? And she's like, it's not about me anymore and what I feel like doing tomorrow. It's about what are we going to do to survive and to have, you know, our species carry on, humanity, right? Where people don't see that or don't care about the big picture. So she understood that, like, she'd be like, yeah, fuck, I'm going to have to, like, not do certain things because, like, I guess I'm, like, you know, I'm going to have to pump kids out. Mm-hmm. And I made a joke, be like, well, you can have, like, you know, a bunch of different dudes. And she made a joke saying that's a good idea.
You know.
But some people are dead set against it. And it's interesting. If anybody has a thought on that.
I feel like gangbangs would be encouraged in that sense. No, they would be. Gangbangs would be encouraged from the sense that, like, think of how much the chances go up of getting pregnant if you have all that different sperm in you.
I think I think you take, like, strong, like, that's when you're actually looking at people and you're like, the traits of this person and the traits of that person. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, they should mate, like, they should make a baby, you know? Mm. But that's the thing where people would be like, but I don't want to have sex with her. And it's like, shit, your baby will be a leader, you know?
I don't know.
Kevin's like, I'll take anybody at any point.
I get. Here's the thing.
So who answers? Like, Carolyn, you answer all the shit that we throw out there. What's your take on this? How would you respond? You know, what's your reaction? So, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
So I've always been. I understand. I'm kind of in between because I understand the primal needs. Like, you know, I know.
Not primal.
No, when a man sees a woman, he wants to mate.
Oh yeah.
That's a natural fucking thing that goes down, and that's how we've been doing things for the longest while. But at the same time, we now have the cognitive minds to realize that, wait a minute, our procreation, our spawning can lead to other things or whatever. And I think it is your choice whether you want to continue that or not. That is your choice. My personal thing comes down to the single person of every individual deserves their right to do what they think is best and what's going to fulfill them. If you having a kid is going to fulfill your life and make your life better, go down that route. If you think that, you know what, maybe continuing your career, making your millions, driving your Harleys and shooting guns and freedom and all that shit is amazing, I think you should go down that route too. I think
I'm lost. I don't know where we're going right now.
I think here's the thing. I don't think that it is your human duty. I don't think it's your human duty to procreate. I don't think it's your purpose in life.
I think it is for the most part, and I understand if people miss the window because of.
If you watch any nature documentary, it's pretty clear that's what these animals are for. They're trying to do
the
all
only
the time.
reason.
It's like the cycle they're in constantly.
Yeah.
It's like eat, kill, fuck.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Offspring done.
But as a higher,
that's why some of them just die after.
Right.
Like, oh, I'm done.
But as
my
a higher
purpose is gone.
being, do you think that's our programming? That's what we're meant to do. Fuck, sleep, eat.
I think like at the base level, yeah, there isn't really. Okay. I think like a lot of what happened with like the evolution of humanity and our brains, is like kind of like environmental, but like in the base level, like what Murray's saying, we're meant for one thing, and we're an animal. We happen to evolve much faster in different ways than everything else and be more advanced. But at the base level, yeah, same deal. You know, same like.
I'm just saying you can.
You have like these. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where like basically. We're like most creatures just need the base, like your shelter, your food, your whatever, right?
Right.
And your need to belong or something like that.
Right.
So after that, like I mean, humans, we probably went to an area where like we have we feel like we have a destiny.
Right.
And it's maybe just not really true. You know, it's like it's what you make of it.
Okay. Because that's another thing I've always.
I just think people are like we're just filling our existence with things that don't really matter,
right?
Like Instagram,
yeah.
This podcast.
Whoa!
Yeah, I put up
on this whole scheme of like everything. It doesn't matter what matters. Like 500 years from now, it's not going to matter.
Procreation.
What if our podcast,
if somebody stood up to the cause and said, "Well, I don't have to," whatever, and it's like, no.
I want to blow your
500
minds.
years from now, maybe your kid would have been a leader.
I want to blow your minds right now. What if in 500 years, our very subsequent humans, this video, audio has become sacred text of the other guys.
If this is what the aliens find, God, they're gonna launch the nukes.
Like we have not.
They're gonna nuke the planet.
I'm thinking this podcast could become like a religious text if like all of humanity gets like all of our knowledge wiped out. And they're like, listen to us. Like, those guys seem like they know what they're talking about. Pretty smart guys. And
it's like Galaxy Quest.
That's all it's left for them. Yeah. And
can you imagine one rival planet finds like another video, but for some reason your parts are just chopped out, and it's just my ravings and rantings,
or it's Joe Rogan or Alex Jones or something like that.
Yeah, and it's just eat meat and fucking kill.
Yeah, there's no balance. It's like the Triforce without the.
There's always you need a balance.
Yeah. We're like we're in the Triforce. You're like Ganon. And I'm like maybe Princess Zelda, the Wisdom, and you're the hero.
Give me another trick. Is that a
I'm
Zelda
Link?
thing?
Yeah, you're like whatever. What's the because in the Zelda
Three Stooges, Mo, Larry.
No, you're like the bald fat guy.
Right, okay. That's what I need an explanation.
I think maybe I am the guy with the weird hair.
Okay,
and then
Murray's Mo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I needed the clarification on.
It's not like that Murray's that much smarter than all of us, but he like has more direction than all of us.
Fair enough. Okay.
And Mo's a self-starter.
Okay. Okay.
Or Shemp. I don't know either way.
I like Curly better. Curly had more chops. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think I've always been interested in that whole like fuck. You know how man, this is gonna sound weird, but like you know how normal people they wake up, they
put on their pants one leg at a time.
They go to a job that they work for 40 hours and then they eventually retire and die, and then they have like a wife, kids. And then they die, and then like it's a very, I don't know,
sad.
Like it's a very.
This is how you look at normal life.
No,
there's a lot of other things that happen in there.
What do you call it?
And 40 hours and like people waking up in the morning. This is where you're misguided, my friend.
I don't know.
That's not
that normal life. I call it the white picket fence.
But nobody does that now. People do, but it's becoming rarer and rarer.
No, but like also like there's a lot of. I find a lot of commonalities in the wants. Like as people get older, and you can Murray is a man who is a little bit aged recently, and who is going.
Happy birthday, Murray.
Yeah, someone who's going down.
Don't shoot me yet.
No, but someone who's
don't shoot me yet.
Who has a little bit more wisdom in the years.
He's going down the corridor.
My thing is, wanting the picturesque family and them to succeed and all that stuff. Is that like a generally normal wanted thing?
All I'm saying is I think that at a certain point, for me personally, I didn't. It's like you hit milestones or like certain things. I'd say I didn't get to a point where you want to procreate, let's say, but you're more open to women. Like you're more open to it. You're not just like, well, shit. Like maybe when I'm old, maybe I'll settle down. You just because you hit that 29-year-old age, 30-year-old age, where you're like, all right, well, if something comes along that if something works, and then kids just happen. But I will say this to anybody, and if anybody listens and they have kids or whatever, it's almost like you unlock another emotional level when you have a child. Like it's like something you could never comprehend. I would never have, if I tried to explain it to myself 10 years ago, I wouldn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I still would be, it's still hard to describe. People that have kids would understand that. It's just, it's not a pet. It's not the same. It's different. And it's a whole new level of emotion that you never thought possible. And it's because you had a kid. And so people who don't have kids, you know what? Maybe they can achieve that through adoption or through, family, through a nephew or something like that. It's possible.
Dogs, maybe? Dogs?
No, pets, no.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm saying it's different.
Okay. So,
but somebody with a pet's going to be like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So,
I love my dog as much as I love my child. And I'll be like, that's fucking weird. And,
so for me,
I feel sorry for either your child or your dog.
One of my current biggest fears, other than spiders,
and your wife.
It's your wife, yeah.
Other than
the women, the women take a backseat because you get supplanted as a man. The kids remember that you're nothing at that point. Like girl has a kid, you're in the distance, man.
I don't know if it's because I'm at the age I'm at now, but I definitely I like all my nephews and nieces and stuff, and it almost makes me want to take care of my own kid eventually. It's maybe
which is a normal feeling for a human being.
And I look at kids in general differently now than I did when I see a crying kid. Before that'd be really kind of oh fuck, there's a crying kid, and almost now I want to look at them and go, it's okay. That sort of thing. And it's I have more.
I walk around. I hear a kid who's hurt, rather than be like, "What's wrong with this kid?"
I have way more.
The parent looks at me, and I'll make a face at the kid, be like, "Oh."
Yeah, I have way more empathy.
What's wrong, buddy?
For instance, when I was working last year, this one little girl, she was from New Zealand, and she was very against men. Apparently, her mom and whoever didn't raise her. This
is a specific story about an actual child.
Yeah, and then I was working
feminist child.
Not really. She was kind of from this weird thing in
You're talking about an older child.
No, she was 6 or so.
That's older.
5, 6, or something like that. And I just kind of she at first was kind of she'd do this thing where anytime she saw a man or started talking to her, she would do this she'd growl at them. She was kind of a weird kid. I don't know exactly where, but anyway, it was more or less her defense mechanism. I realized. So I kind of slowly was just nice to her, and I
might have told us.
I let her watch cartoons on my phone.
Tell us the story.
And I felt, and then the one woman was like, "Wow, she never really talks to men, or normally you must be really good with kids." And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I'm okay. I mean, I have all these nieces and nephews, and I've had cousins who are younger too." So, but gradually, I didn't realize that I was becoming more I don't know, more empathetic to kids, I guess. Because there's a certain point where when you're 20 or younger than around that age, you're kids. Who wants them? It makes.
I'm telling you, man. And yes, you're right. You are becoming more, and it shows that you're more ready, or closer to being able to do that. And I know, it just hits you, right? And then, but like I said, it's when you have that kid, and then I don't know what it is. It changes you, you know. It really does put a dent in the armor, and there's like this hole that you didn't realize in there. That
there's somebody you'd walk into a gorilla cage to get back.
Yeah, so you know, and then like fuck, man, like the news is like so depressing. Like you read about this, then there's a guy out there who killed his wife and his 3 daughters, and they're all little kids, and I'm like,
yeah, that's fucked up.
Fuck, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like. Your air needs to go away because you should never be able to laugh or smile or even chuckle.
Yeah.
Maybe you feel remorse forever and go, oh shit, they just won't let me kill myself, and you're not man enough to do it yourself. You should never be able to chuckle at anything ever again. You should never have a fucking food that you like. Your taste buds should be burned. Everything. No, but I'm just saying, like it. That's where you start getting a little more emotional, where you're like. Not just like, man, that guy's fucked, and like, oh, I'll deal with his case. You start feeling the pain, and you're like, man,
so
that sucks.
Here's my thing, as the young one in the group. Here's the thing, and you guys have known this. I've always had that, not fear, but almost like fear of the unknown, but almost like when I hear settling down, when I hear people saying, wife, kids,
you are settled down right now.
Weekend barbecues. There's
nothing settling about being in that type of relationship and having kids.
No, but I want to know
things get unsettled.
Okay, but I want to know is when you get to that stage in life where you want those things,
some people want them, others it just happens
like?
to them.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? What's it like?
No, because what's it like?
What do you mean? What's it like?
What's it like? Kids, wives, and
wives,
and or a wife, and like that being locked down. You can't run like you
can't. It's
just
different than not having that shit. Like I said, it's not. It's different.
It's different. Okay.
It doesn't define who you are.
Okay.
It kind of does.
Does it really?
Like you can't.
You can still.
Some people, and this is the thing, is that I talk to people and they're like, you know what? I do whatever I want to do still, and I do it when and then I'm like, all right, cool. And if your woman is totally fine with that, and like you fuck off on the weekend, or if you work Monday to Friday and on the weekend you're gone, and then you come home Sunday night and whatever, what's up, and I'm going to bed and like a little bit of action. If she's willing to put up with that, good for you, because you're able to still go out and do a whole bunch of shit. But I mean, for a lot of people. Their weekend is, wrapped up with kiddie events and, making sure that you're taking care of your kids and educating them, because at that point, it's not about you anymore. It's about them. You don't if you had one burger and they haven't eaten, guess who's getting that burger? They are. It's not about you anymore. It's about them. So people who can't comprehend that, that's all I'm saying is that, they don't understand until they have that kid, right?
I think you still get to, by define who you are, I just think you get to, probably when you have kids, you can still be you. And you get to pass along you to somebody else.
You're just so tired.
You're just tired all the time.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
But it's also like the same thing. Like,
you
know what I mean? Like, if you hate a job, you know what I mean? Like I did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where they had me. So, like, where I worked, if they treated me the way that they treated me before I had a child, I would have just told somebody, I would have just said, fuck this, I'm out.
Right.
Fuck this. You can't treat me like this. I would have gone to the labor board. I would have done a whole bunch of human rights. Like, it would have been a big deal. But because they get you, you know what I mean? You just can't leave because you got to pay bills. And you know what I mean? You're like, fuck. Can I afford maybe taking a
Kevin's
pay cut
diapers
to,
are pretty expensive.
Exactly. So you stick it out, man. You got to stick it out. So you end up, like some people like me, you eat some shit for a while.
Right.
And there's nothing you can really do. You got to you just kind of got to live with it. But you know what? I realized I handled it all wrong in that situation. Right. The right way to do it is to do all of that, is to make noise, is to change your environment, to confront your problem rather than just let it continue, because you're getting taken advantage of on all fronts then, and that's not healthy, right, for you mentally or anything, because then you're just getting wounded,
right?
You're just becoming exhausted. So like that's one thing. If you had kids and we're in a relationship and you had to pay your half of the rent or all the rent, and take care of your kids, if you hated your job, you got to think twice
That's what I'm afraid of. That's
It's like that Simpsons
I've
episode.
always thought of it once. Go or do not go. And that's now to think
Because
that,
it's not about
it's not about
you.
just you. And I understand that, but that's what freaks me out. Because I'm like, because I had a friend who got into some gambling.
It's
issues.
early for you to be tired, Kirk.
Yeah, he's
I was gonna say this podcast just tires me after an hour and a half. I'm just done. You know.
he's a sprinter, not a marathon runner. But I had a guy who
Saturday, he wouldn't be able to work on Saturday Night Live.
he what do you call it? He ran.
That's
into
an hour and a half.
He ran into some gambling.
Especially not on a daylight savings day.
With a well,
Anyways,
that's right.
I'd be like, oh no, I can't do
Well,
it.
no, it actually starts an hour early.
It happens on Sunday, so yeah, because I couldn't have an excuse for that.
Like if they go live at 11:30, it actually go live at 10:30, so it's earlier.
Okay. I'm not getting a scheduling that. But anyways, I want to know what other people think about the whole marriage, kids, normal life.
So basically, anybody out there, the others.
The others, yeah, let us know because, I mean, obviously, I know guys can survive it. Some people might want to get into it. I'm still afraid of it. I just don't like.
It really is just survival mode.
I've never liked
That's
that
what I say.
feeling.
You're just surviving
of having a ball and chain. Obviously, you're gonna love and care and want to fight for that ball and chain. But I've always been afraid of a ball and chain because,
well, the fact that you're referring to them like that, yeah,
it's scary. I don't know. Anyways,
well, it's like you can consider yourself a fucking a boat that's being tossed around in the middle of a storm. What's going to help you the most? An anchor.
Ball and chain. Yeah, an anchor. Yeah.
A really good sail.
Fair enough.
A really good sail.
Sail.
Yeah. So, closing statements on marriage. Kirk, what are your closing statements on marriage?
I don't quite know. I'm not against it. I'm not really interested now. It's something future Kirk will have to decide.
Right.
In general, the concept of marriage, I find is kind of antiquated. Other than that,
that's what I said. And I still like, why one woman?
Yeah. Or just like it's basically a contract. Like, why do we gotta get a contract involved? Like, have us loved,
right.
love each other. Like,
you don't have to. You could just live with somebody.
But even like common law, eventually that becomes part of the law, right? Like,
it does, but I mean,
like it's kind of like similar. It's pretty similar. Like the rights, you have the same rights as a married couple, somewhat, right? With like property,
less.
Yeah, when you have some of that, right? So it's I mean, no matter what, you shack up with someone for too long, and you're gonna be I don't know.
Fair enough.
I almost went to Kevin mode for a second.
Nice.
I'm like,
I was waiting. I'm like, what's Kirk saying? He's
Murray,
going into a dark hole here.
Murray, I always go there. Murray,
you shack up for someone for too long, you'll be in a dark hole, everybody.
Final thoughts on settling down and that life.
I don't recommend it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Like I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
For some people,
Yeah.
it's great. For others, it's hard. And for you, I don't know.
No.
I think that. Well, no, you say that.
For
but
now,
you don't know.
I'm still, like I said, I'm open to possibilities. In the words of
And one day your brain will be fully developed.
Maybe.
And,
maybe in the words of Kiss, party every day, rock and roll all night. Or was it that?
at least get the quote right.
Party every day. Anyways,
I think your quote should be from Kiss. It's called from a song called "Take It Off."
take it off. Yeah, there you go. That's gonna be the other guy's podcast. Kirk has to sleep, eat his.
I haven't had dinner yet. I'm hungry.
He's an old man now.
It's not that late.
It's not very late, but I am sore from sitting here. My muscles are contracting. My butt
Kirk,
is kind of
you're
sore.
not selling it. You're
it's
not
like
selling
7:45.
Your future wife could be watching this right now, and she doesn't want to hear how.
I need you get energy from eating things and being outside in the sun, and I'm not getting any of that right now.
That's
apparently
okay.
there was no preparing to get ready for the podcast by eating some food.
I would have liked to.
Never is.
I'm going to complain about when we close this off.
Okay, this is the Other Guys podcast. Good night. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the others, a.k.a. our fans, people that love this show. Don't forget to leave comments, questions, and get involved. And you know what? I think when we get more of you, we're gonna do something with you. We're gonna create little packages. I'm not saying that, but we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something fun. Anyways, that's the Other Guys podcast. Good night.